Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back. Deer scents, the patented scent that smokes, Estrus, to attract that big buck that you want. Does it work? Well, I don't know, but this is my first impressions of it. So here's what I can tell you. According to our read up, it smells stronger, lasts longer, hours, not minutes. Okay? Can totally mask human odor. Travel further. Hunters report being able to smell our scents at better than 600 yards. Okay, well, that's the hunters. But what do the hunters say about whether or not it's attracted any bucks? Well, I don't know. I didn't go to their website to read anything, but you would think that if this was such a fun, fabulous product, that there'd be more than one video on YouTube, and my archery guy saying, it works. I burned the stick in the open. The guy on YouTube, I burned the stick in the open. I got my big buck. Look, there's a lot of money pit stuff when it comes to the hunting world. We already know that. Okay, I mean, that's why there's like 15 million broadheads, 200,000 different arrows, 60 million different bows, etc. Okay, there's a lot of stuff out there that is just a total waste of money. All right, but there is stuff that actually does work, and I'm sure there is stuff that does work. Now, does this hide human odor? Oh yeah. Look, I don't go to the extremes of, washing my body with descented soaps and descented shampoos and deodorants that have no scent or any of this crap. Okay, same as when I do my laundry. Hey, it's whatever scent my wife buys, we work with it. My first year hunting too. I don't know any better. Which, yeah, you could be onto something there. I mean, there's a lot of stuff I don't know. But I will tell you this, that you burn these scents, it doesn't matter what pit juice you use. It doesn't matter if you use Irish Spring to wash your body down with, that deer apparently hate, because they're not going to smell it. They're only going to smell this stuff, and not even you. Okay? And you're not going to spook them unless you're stupid in your tree stand or you're blind. Okay? I mean, we do stupid stuff at times, and it's like, whoopsie, I spooked it. Darn. You know what I mean? There goes my shot, and there goes my day. Right? Try again tomorrow. Now, even after burning the very first stick, that's my second pack, by the way. I still have 1.5 sticks left out of my first one. But even after burning the first stick, that stuff was all over my clothing. And that was when I had the stupid thing set up like 40 feet, 50 feet away from me in the bucket, okay? And I made my own bucket, because you can make your own or buy theirs collapsible, or you can burn it out in the open. But if you burn it out in the open, it is not going to burn for very long. But if you burn in a bucket and you build your bucket according to their design specs that they give you, yep, you can easily get 2 hours plus of burn time out of a stick. I've sat there and timed it, because I'm constantly watching it to see if the stick is either out or if it died. Okay, anyways, but even from the very first burn, my wife could smell it on my clothes, which means she could also probably smell it on me too if she sniffed me. Because, yeah, my body odor, yeah, it doesn't matter, because the deer ain't going to smell me at all. All right, so I will pretty much guarantee you that it's going to mask your human scent. And it's going to mask the scent of whatever you bathed in. It's going to mask the scent of on your clothing too, etc., okay? So you can stop wasting money on all the other garbage that you're probably not going to need. Unless you want to stay an extremist. That's up to you, okay? Anyways, it so far has not attracted any bucks. It's definitely not repelling any of the does from showing up or other animal life. Okay, I mean, they're still going to the feed pile. Raccoons, squirrels, chipmunks, blue jays. We haven't seen any crows at the food pile, thankfully. Guess they haven't figured out it's there yet. But we haven't attracted any bucks to the food pile. Now, we do suspect there was a buck on the camera. We did not see the body of it. We did happen to see part of the rack. And I've looked at the area to make sure that that wasn't some twigs that got blown or whatever on a tree, and definitely not. So I would say that there was possibly a buck that was in the area, but it didn't even come anywhere near the food plot that night. It kind of started to appear, got a good shot of the rack, and then it started to disappear, and that's it. So it didn't even come near the food pile. Mind you, the does were there at the time too. Maybe they don't like eating together. I have no idea, but either way, Bucky did not make himself well known enough, okay? And the trees were hiding the outline of the body, so that's why we can suspect it was a buck. But that was hours after we were already gone, okay, for the night. And that is kind of depressing because I only have a buck tag, and I live in Canada, and we have to enter draws to get doe tags. Now, my buddy, he did win a doe tag this year. I did not, because I did not get in time to enter, because by the time I got my hunter safety course done my small game license and all this other jibber jabber, and I decided to write my pal for getting firearms, something I probably should have done 30 years ago, but I never did. Because I really wasn't into them back then, but now I'm into hunting, and it's like, you know what? Going grouse hunting with a bow and arrow, it really sucks, guys. I mean, you can do it. I mean, trust me, you can. I mean, I've been doing it since the grouse season opened up this year, and I missed a grouse by literally like an inch, okay? I was an inch low, so my arrow skated under his belly, and he bugged off, and it's like, well, it happens. I guessed wrong on my range, right? Because I didn't have time to range find it, because my buddy's like, there's a grouse, get him. And I'm like, oh, man. So, shotgun works so much better. So I decided, that's it. I've had enough of this crap. I'm going to write my pal. I'm getting guns. And maybe next year I can, hunt guns for deer too. But we do have a dedicated bow season, which I'll still do my whole month of bow season regardless. But once it's bow and gun, then I'll probably just take a gun. But anyway, and I don't expect to see my pal in the mail before friggin' New Year's anyways, just because they're kind of slow right now. Unless a miracle happens, that'd be great. So, but anyway, as far as this stuff goes though, like it's $16 Canadian for a pack, and you get 6 sticks in there. You get the instructions on how to build your bucket. I highly recommend doing your own bucket. Now you can use anything, but you got to watch the height, because you're going to end up digging a hole into the ground, which you probably should anyways. But I took my one of my wife's flower pots that she doesn't use anymore. It was about yay high. Drilled a bunch of holes in it the way they tell you to do it, etc., etc. And I dug a hole about this deep into the ground so I could jam the stick down there and give it, about that much clearance from the top of the bucket. This way it doesn't get the bucket hot and melt my bucket, right? Anyways, so I get over 2 hours of run time per stick, and it vents out because it builds the smoke up a lot inside, and so it just like pours out of there, which is kind of nice, because with a stick, it's kind of like whatever direction the wind is going, it's going to be like a steady stream, and that's not going to help you much. But hey, you know what? One YouTuber and my archer guy say works to burn them open, but you don't get a lot of burn time. That's the only problem. You get a lot of burn time in the bucket, and more of it just wells up. And man, I got the bucket set up about 15 feet roughly from my blind, and so my blind is like super coated in this stuff. Like I could go in there smelling to high heaven of Irish Spring, and I would never spook an animal, because the blind alone is hiding my human scent and the scent of the soaps. So I'm not bothering with any of the other friggin' gizmos and jibber jabber stuff that people want to sell us, right? Because if this stuff stinks that bad, after the first burn with the bucket being like 40, 50 feet from the blind, which is where I initially started it, because I didn't want to smell the stuff much, because it will give you a headache, by the way, especially 15 feet from your blind. It gives you a headache, but you know what? It's kind of worth the headache to have that definitely coating the hell out of your blind and your clothing. But even the first burn at the further distance away, my wife's like, I said, smell my clothes, because I can't smell nothing. My nose is always clogged, right? So she's like, yeah, that's smelling mighty different. And it's like, good to know, because that was freshly clean laundered clothes that was done with one of those dryer sheets for getting static out, and it has an odor to it. It was washed in the washing machine with a scented detergent. I wore my normal pick stick of what I always use anyways, which has an odor to it. It's called Minion Speed Stick or something. Anyways, didn't wear aftershave because I don't do aftershave. I rarely ever use aftershave at all. But yeah, they do swear that it will hide your scent, and it does. Guaranteed it will. Not guaranteed it's going to get you a buck though. But at least you're guaranteed it's not going to repel the does. They don't seem to mind. They don't care. So that's all fine and dandy. Now, I'm not going to give you a review at this time. This is just my first impression video of this stuff. If it actually does start hauling in bucks, at least during the rut, that's probably where this stuff's going to work the best, is during the rut, because that's when the bucks are horny and they want their does, right? And this can lead them to other locations where they might find, ooh, there must be a lot of does up there. I got to check them out, check out them girls, right? And that's kind of, I guess, the idea behind this stuff, is to get that mental male thinking going on in their brain. Doesn't seem to work when there's no rut, though, because they're really not in much of a mood for anything, right? So I guess at this point in the game, I'm going to have to say that for attracting bucks right now, when it's not the rut, no. When it gets to be starting to pre-rut and in the main rut, these will probably work really well. That I don't know, but we're going to find out. And then I'm going to report back to you guys as to whether or not I feel that this had an influence or not. And I can tell you that the only way to know 100% is take 1 year, use it, take another year, don't use it at all, and just do your normal thing anyway, and see what happens with the animals. I mean, the biggest thing is we do have to hide our human scent, because when they smell humans, they run, okay? When you spook them with noise of any kind, even if it's minor, they freaking run. I usually get a ton of deer every year out at my apple tree in the front yard, and as soon as I open one of the doors, even if I'm being quiet, they hear a squeak, they hear it, and they're like, huh? And they're gone, okay? Like, that's all does too, by the way, out front. The bucks are more elusive animal, right? And this is something I'm learning too. I'm also learning they like marshy areas, which we do have in the back property, and we also have a stream back there as well, and they like to bed no more than 100 yards from water source at all times. So I might go see if I can rustle me up a buck out in the marshland there and go through, because it is pretty dry back there. I mean, it's soft, but it's dry. And we can walk right into the stream, no big deal. And but they may be bedding down there, and they got to be bedding down there as well as the does, because those does are coming out almost every single night to the food pile. So they're close. They're really close, and they like to bed in tall grass. Does do it, bucks do it. It's a protection thing, especially from bears. But and they like to be close to water at all times, because they drink a ton of water every day. They drink a lot of food, eat a lot of food. So, you know, I mean, it kind of makes sense. They're gonna be in the area, and we have a neighbor that gets a buck every year in the back. So, I mean, there's definitely 1 or 2 buckies for sure back there, and I'm hoping one of them's got, you know, a little name tag on it that said, "You're Kevy's, and he's gonna get you." You know what I mean? So you're going in his freezer. But I figured try this and see where things go at. And because this hides human scent, why bother with all the extra crap? It's just overkill for nothing. And it's a lot of extra money that I can't even afford. And this stuff is working wonders so far. So I'm happy with that as far as that part goes. I haven't attracted a buck yet. So I guess it's going to be one of those pre-rut season things, or in the middle of the rut. Or peak of the rut. That's when these sticks are going to work for attracting the bucks. But in the meantime, they do kill your odor, and if you do have a doe tag, you can definitely whack yourself a doe real easy, because yeah, the does are not deterred by that smell whatsoever, and neither are the other animals. So that's a good thing. Anyways, that's what I got for you on this one, guys. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and if you've used it, please do a freaking video, would you? Like, we only have one on YouTube where a guy actually has a video that says, "I tried it and it works, and look, I got my bucky," you know, and it's like, yeah, but we need more than one person. And they're claiming that a lot of hunters are saying they can smell this stuff from 600 yards away plus. where's the proof? Where's the testimonies? Unless it's all on their website, which you would think those guys probably do have, at least some of them have YouTube channels. They should have this stuff on YouTube pushing this product out if it actually does work, right? So I would think, you know, just saying. But anyways, I'll let you guys know more during the season. I have until December 15th to tag me a buck, and then that's it. I'm done for the season, because that's the end for my area where I live anyways, where I can hunt a buck. It was December 15th. So, but that's it. That's all. See you on the next one.